Welcome to the Vermilion Podcast, a free audio library of business strategies, creative inspiration, and industry knowledge for actors, filmmakers, writers, and anyone looking to activate their creative potential. I'm Misha Calvert, a writer-director who helps artists build the careers that they dream of. I really hope that this podcast inspires you in some way. Thanks for tuning in. My guest this evening is an incredible singer-songwriter, actor, and musician, Kate Eberstadt. I'm so honored to have you here, Kate. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so honored to finally be on this podcast after listening.
That's really huge. The other thing about Kate that I'm really, really proud to say is that she is my friend.
Likewise.
Thank you. Maybe the best of all. So, Kate, the number one thing going on in your life right now, I'm guessing, is your album.
That is correct. Yes, it's taken over my life like a parasite, but in the best of ways.
The album's called Heaven on Earth.
Yes.
It just released.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about what kind of music it is and also the genesis of the album?
Totally, yeah. So the kind of music on Heaven on Earth, we've been calling it existential pop recently, but I would say it falls in like the indie pop category, but it also leans on both my background as a singer-songwriter and my producer, Jake Crocker's background. I came from like a choral music background and classical music background, and he also was a choir kid. So I would say that there's some orchestral moments, some choral moments, pop moments, dance moments. So it takes you on a journey.
Cool. How many songs are on the album?
There are 9 songs that made it onto the album.
How many didn't make it on?
That is such a good question. And so several of the songs almost didn't make it on. The song Heaven on Earth was the first song that Jake and I worked on together. And often the first song that you work on with somebody is like a throwaway. Almost you're figuring out how you work with a producer and a songwriter together. But that song, which is in this now very stripped back Imogen Heap vocoder style, started as a 4 on the floor like dance song about starting with suicidal ideation. Like we went like hard on that first song. And then that song got a little too crazy, so we put it down for a long time. We were like, this is the song where we learned how to work with each other. But then we ended up bringing it back at the very end when my grandfather, who I was living with at the time, went into hospice, and the text in that song took on a totally different meaning. I was in Seattle with Jake, and I booked a flight that night, a red-eye, to go back to be with my granddad before he passed. And we recorded that song in like 3 hours, stripped it completely back. So that song almost didn't make it. And then Father John Wycamp, which is another stripped back song, almost didn't make it because it was also Once Upon a Time, like a pop record. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there were a few things that we started, left, and then came back to at the very end and took everything away. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how do you find that your actor training informs your work as a musician and singer?
That is such a good question. I find them so linked to each other. Actor training helped me become a better storyteller completely. And I will sing his praises until I die, but Jade McCarty, who's both of our acting teacher, taught me how to think about story in a completely different way. And when I was writing this record, I was in conservatory at the beginning of when I started writing this record.
In New York?
Yes, at the studio in New York. And I was playing various characters, but Blanche was one who I was working through. Mm-hmm. At the time, I was turning 30 and entering my 30s. Mm-hmm. She's 30. She thinks her life is over.
She's 30?
Yeah.
She looks 50.
Yeah.
Damn.
And she felt 50, right?
Yeah.
Like, at that time, there were things that I related to in that character that I really didn't want to see. And I was thinking about Blanche, and in various of the songs, I can see the scene study coming through. Like in the song Timmy Chalamet, part of that to me is also about the newspaper boy scene with Blanche, where she's imagining this fantasy of romance. For just a minute, she gets to experience it, and then it disappears. Yeah, and so Timmy was the newspaper boy in my mind.
Wow. This is the second time that Tennessee Williams has come up on the podcast.
I know. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite playwrights.
Yeah. Your Alma.
Yeah. Well remembered. Yes. I'm burning up with my desire.
I would love to see you play Alma, honestly.
Yeah. I recently had a return to acting in a film, and my friend just gave me a straight offer. I didn't even audition for it.
Oh, cool.
And it was cool to be back in the saddle with acting.
Yeah. Well, what was that like for you to be back after directing and writing for this time?
I started directing the film.
Really? You're like in the seat?
Yeah, certain scenes I was like, why are you filming in there? This room is already set. We should film this room. It's much nicer. And the director's like, yeah, you're right.
The director brain was just on.
Yeah. Well, I found myself protecting myself as an actor and trying to make sure that I was well represented and that the shots were going to come out well. So it's a fine line between open communication with actor and director and taking over. I really tried not to take over. For the most part, it was successful, but I think that ultimately will yield a better product, at least for my footage. So in that sense, it was like advocacy, I would say.
Totally.
And I knew what the language to just shorthand it. Because the thing
Right.
you don't want to do is like take up a whole bunch of time being this vacuum of attention and need on the day. If you have something you have to communicate, just do it quickly and efficiently and you're fine.
Well, yeah, it's in the service of the story, right? That's what we were taught in conservatory, is that your job as an actor is to serve the story. And that kind of brings me back to like how I see songwriting and acting as so connected too, because you're telling the story. And what I do as a songwriter is in pursuit of the story or the emotion, the story of the song. And you're always playing a version of yourself, even if you're being completely honest. That's where craft comes in. Like you're becoming a version of yourself in a song, or a song is like capturing a postcard of a moment in time of yourself. And then you play that character over and over again. At least like for me in the live show, I'm like playing that part of me and finding it in real time too.
I guess that makes a lot of sense, and I've heard musicians talk like that, but I think maybe this is the first time that I'm actually thinking about music as storytelling, like the first time in my life.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's the storytelling role of when it comes to writing, just like in film, there's the script, and then there's the doing of, like when you get to the microphone and you are recording the song, and then there's all of the storytelling of the editing process, which similarly in music to film, it's an editor's medium, and then there's the actual moment on stage and what you choose to perform in that moment or express.
Wow. So what are some of the stories that you tell on Heaven on Earth, available on Spotify and Apple Music
All cameras.
and everywhere else that music can be found?
Well, you asked like what the origin of the record was, and I was reflecting on that before coming here. And I started the record 4 years ago now, which is crazy. Yeah. Some projects just take their sweet time maturing, especially when you're a perfectionist. And there were a few things happening at the same time. One was that I was turning 30, and I had always imagined checkpoints happening by that stage in my life, as I'm sure a lot of people do.
I thought I would be on the cover of Vanity Fair.
Right? Yeah. Like, genuinely, from an artistic level, there were things that I thought that I would have blown up by then. And I would have had my huge break probably when I was like 25, right?
Yeah.
And that had not yet happened. And I had been making work and doing the work and the grind, and like nothing had popped off. Also, like on a personal level, I thought that I would be married and have kids at that point. And I grew up in a like pretty traditional family, and it wasn't even that expectation was put on me. Like I put that on myself, and that's what I imagined. I did not imagine an alternative to that. That had not happened. I was in a relationship that was falling apart slowly, and you know that feeling when like the rug is being pulled out from under you so slowly, like something's shifting.
Oh God! And it's like they're fading away, like in a dream.
Yeah,
further and further.
And like I know that you're standing in front of me, but you're kind of not here anymore, and so I could feel that falling apart. And then also some of the people I spent the most time with in New York were just either leaving, moving out to other places. My sister, who's like my best friend, and I had lived together, and worked together for so long, and she was moving into a new chapter of her life. Then one of my best friends was diagnosed with terminal cancer. Well, she's actually doing quite well now, and we can get into that even. But at the time, it was, pretty terrifying. And then also my grandfather, who was like one of also the closest people in my life, was dying as well. So like all of these different things were happening. Mm-hmm. So a lot of my life was changing, and there was so much transition, and I just didn't know what the future looked like. Yeah. And there was so much anxiety that came with that. And I also was having, I forget if I said this already, but debilitating migraines.
Oh God, no.
Yeah. I was diagnosed with chronic migraine disorder around that time. So I had gotten migraines before in my life, but I was getting like 10 to 15 per month at that point. Yeah.
It's like every other day.
Yeah. It was a lot. It was like a part-time job to just like fix that problem or try to get help for that problem.
How did you fix it?
Well, that's a great question. And I went every route I possibly could go. Like I tried to get help from medical, Western medicine, Eastern medicine. I got to a point where I thought maybe this is a spiritual problem. Like, body keeps a score,
yeah, I would
mind
go
body
there.
connection. Yeah. And I was like, that pushed me into a spiritual inquiry that I would not have gotten into otherwise.
So God sent you the migraines.
I honestly think it's very possible. That's heaven on earth. Ta-da! I think that when you're not aligned, your body can just start to shut down. And I was having to ask bigger questions like, why am I shutting down? What's happening now? And so this is the strange like cauldron of things happening in the pot that started this record. And I wrote like 30 completely insane demos on my computer. And that's where we started from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you make me want to go make an album.
We should, honestly.
Yeah. I actually found a bunch of old tracks from when I was a DJ in my early 20s. And I had like Ableton Live or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I sent them to my boyfriend, Jack, and he was like, this is absolutely legend.
You have to send these to me now. Like after
it's
we
like Michael
finish
Jackson
this,
remixes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'll executive produce your album.
Sick. Yeah. I actually had a music video too that I fucking lost. Sorry, just cursed on my own podcast. But yeah, I had a music video of like a bunch of old sailing footage from the 80s and these like yacht rock dudes. And then I lost, I think I just uploaded it to MySpace only.
But I mean, that was
the time.
Peak music, right? Like Lily Allen came from MySpace.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lily Allen's new record.
Yeah. Shout out to that entire tour of their house that I watched well before the bomb dropped.
Oh, really?
And I thought it was weird then.
But you're psychic.
Yeah.
So you knew.
Yeah.
You could see the whole story unfold.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that something like that wasn't the impetus for your album, and instead it came from just a place of spiritual searching, head injury, but also bodily transformation, and really the kind of apotheosis of your creative life so far at that time.
Totally, yeah. And I wish I knew what the word apotheosis meant.
The crowning achievement.
Thank you. The crown of thorns.
Yeah. So, Lady Jesus, this attracted the attention of a new agent for you, is that correct?
Well, in a way, yeah. The agent story is, again, it's just another story of like, do what you like to do. Make the thing that you want to make, and you will find the right person at the right time.
I needed to hear that so bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just true, and you hear it over and over again, but in my case, like, it goes without saying, I've applied to so many different things. I auditioned for acting grad schools many times.
Girl.
Never got in.
They definitely should have taken. That's insane. You're like, you got Yale written all over you. Like, honestly, if you're listening, anyone from Yale, I am mad at you. I am personally mad at you because I wanted to go there, but Kate should have gone there.
Oh my gosh. I wanted to go there. Like, in one of my many fantasies of how my life should have gone, there was definitely the Yale School of Drama fantasy. Where it's like, you go to Yale School of Drama,
You get married.
You get married and have kids by age 30.
Yeah, you have a brownstone in Brooklyn. Like, that should have been your life, but also you're more interesting this way, but yeah.
Yeah.
Insane behavior, Yale.
It all turned out for the best, I think. But so the agent came actually from this past year. I was a Maker's Lab resident at Ars Nova, and that's an artist residency at, shout out to Ars Nova for supporting my work. Seriously, like, they've just been incredible. They totally understand what I'm trying to do and are helping me make these crazy things, like the album, the concert, and also my solo show, which I think that you came to, 2 summers ago. So as part of the Maker's Lab residency, I had a one-night only showing of that show, which is called Where We Meet. And they invited the person who is now my agent to come to a 2 p.m. dress rehearsal for that.
Whoa.
And he was there at the right place at the right time, where I was really just showing a piece of work that I was proud of, and in part because I didn't get into grad school. Like, I think about what would have happened if I had gone to grad school, and I wouldn't have made this album. I wouldn't have made that show Where We Meet. Wouldn't have this agent now. Like, yeah. It's so strange how these things work. Because that's what I, at one point, thought that I really, really wanted, was to go to grad acting school.
I wouldn't have been a filmmaker.
Really?
No, I started writing and directing because I wasn't getting the acting roles that I wanted.
There you go. Yeah.
So desperation, really.
And like finding yourself, if you're not seeing yourself reflected in the roles that you're even allowed to audition for example. I see that too. There's like a parallel for me with music and songwriting, because I don't consider myself a singer. Like, I have a fine voice. I have worked with vocalists. Like, I know what the difference is. People who are extremely technically gifted, that's not my gift. I started to write songs because I couldn't audition for American Idol or The Voice.
Wow. Could have fooled me. I think you've got a great voice.
Well, I write well. It's sort of like filmmaking, right? And screenwriting. You can write roles for yourself.
Yeah.
As long as you're a good writer. Like, better than anyone else, because you know what you're capable of and what your instrument can do.
Totally.
Yeah. And I also work with one of the best producers in the game. So, like, I'm very, very lucky that
I love Jake.
Jake is amazing.
Yeah, he's great. Good energy.
He's here now, actually, not in the podcast studio.
Oh my God, you should definitely bring him to my party.
To your B-Day, yeah.
This will be aired long after that, but... So, okay, wait. Real quick on the agent. So what are they doing for you now? Like, are they helping, or how does that work?
So I am represented by the theater division of WME, and that's specifically to support Where We Meet, the solo show. So it's to further in that direction. And I think WME represents a lot of hybrid, kind of multi-hyphenate creators in the theater division. So this is for my theatrical work.
Are you going out for theater gigs?
Not for like acting auditions, but
do you want to?
If the right thing comes up, yeah. I've been really enjoying making my own work, honestly, so I haven't even been thinking about
Well, we got to sit down and talk about that, because I want you going out for the right projects, but they have to submit you. And you can definitely book some cool ass shit, like, you know, be it Chekhov, be it New Works. It's just, I mean, girl, you're rep by WME now. Like, sky's the limit.
Yeah, I feel very, very, very lucky, honestly, that it just felt like it fell into place in that moment. Yeah. And again, can't underscore it enough, but it was like, this is a project. I can't express how many hours I worked on this project when no one was watching, just me and Molly, the director, in a rehearsal room in NYU, applying to 25 opportunities and getting rejected from everything. For years, truly, for years. And then it was when we first started taping things, actually, that started to change things. Like, when we were able to apply to things, not just with the script and the demos, but like a tape of me doing a song. Something opened up, and then we started to get more opportunities. Like, I started to perform songs live here and there a little bit, and then we got the opportunity to do the one night only showing at Antfest at Ars Nova, which is what you saw. And then I felt like that started to turn and the energy started to change. But we worked on that just by ourselves for years without anyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many years?
Well, actually, it depends on when you count the project starting, because I first wrote a version of a show about my time teaching in a refugee camp in Germany, which is what Where We Meet talks about, in 2017.
Wow.
When I was just moved back from Germany into my parents' basement, and I was going crazy, as one does. Yeah, it was just like the first time that I realized that so many things that I had been told were a lie, and been told just being like the narrative that we learn about our country. Yeah. And so I was like, wait, are we always the good guys? Anyways, I was in a tailspin a little bit when I came back and just trying to figure out what the fuck I wanted to do with my life. And I wrote a mixtape about that experience that then, when I moved back to New York, we put up as a musical called Notes from the Basement. And that's when I first started working with Jade, and there were a few like people who were in the play, and we did that show, several iterations of it, and Molly directed several of those workshops. That's where it's like, where did that project start? Because it might have started then, right? And so then that would be from 2017 to now, we're almost 2026.
9 years.
And then it evolved and it became around 2021.
Wait, no, 8 years. Sorry.
8
years.
Oh, to 2025. 2017 to 2025.
I'm not a mathematician.
We're artists, baby. We'll take the phone calculators out for all that stuff. Yeah, but the show, as it exists now, I would say, I put that project down for a little while. It wasn't quite right. I loved the people that were on it and the music that was in it, but something was not clicking. And then around 2021, during the pandemic, it felt like a download. It was like, all of a sudden, this is a solo show. This is about quantum physics. This is about sound waves. How do we reach each other when we're separated? And yeah, it was like immediate. And so that was from 2021 to now. We're getting into 2026. So that's still also 5 years.
Yeah.
And a lot of time when people were not seeing it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, everyone should be feeling really good about those things that you're working on, and you're just toiling away by yourself in the dark sometimes and no one's watching. If you continue to work on it, you will get the result. It might not look like you thought it would, but it will feel like you wanted it to.
Yeah. I've heard Phineas O'Connell say this before, but I really think it's true that the thing that an artist really has to master is their own taste and what they like. Because there will be people who are better technicians than you until eternity. You know, someone can always be a little bit better than you at XYZ, but they can't develop your sense of taste, your style, what you like. And so, as you were saying, like making projects that you love, I think is the best thing that you can learn how to do.
I was just thinking about that this morning.
Really?
Yeah, because I had an all-day edit today on a short film, and I find I consistently face down the battle between the desire to make a good film for public approval and the desire to make a film that I care about and not caring what other people think about it. And those are constantly at war. And this morning I just had to give myself a little pep talk of, well, hang on, why am I so anxious about getting it right in the edit? Because it's kind of the last stop on the edit, or we're approaching the last stop on the train. And I'm like, you know what? Who am I getting it right for? Like, why am I so drilled down to perfection on this? I need to trust my taste. Like, I'm cool. I like cool things, and what I think is cool is cool. And also, I was going over some flyover states recently, and I just was like, in these other states, God, I sound really pretentious right now. Awful, liberal. But truly, I think a lot of people are asleep and not able to create anything at all and have, frankly, no taste. Not just in flyover states, but like all over America. And to be able to have any taste at all that is remotely good is like kind of rare.
Yeah.
So why don't I just be proud of that?
Well, yeah, because we're also being completely brainwashed and our attention is being stolen from us all the time. Like, it's really hard to develop one's own sense of taste when we're on a screen scrolling all day, right? Like, it's truly something that your body likes. You're like, oh yeah, that was cool. It's something that you know, right? And we're losing touch with that. And that scares me. I find myself losing touch with that too.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm also saying this for myself to hear, like, to trust those instincts that we have and to maybe get off TikTok a little bit more.
Yo, I heard someone talking about how we have all now a slot machine in our pocket.
Whoa. That's so true. It's a casino.
Access to a casino in our pocket.
It's so true. Well, so how do you navigate that? Because you're one of the busiest people I know, and your attention is so valuable. And I feel like you're really focused.
Thank you. I mean, I've cut out a lot of other dopamine and chemical distractors. I basically don't do any drugs whatsoever anymore. I don't drink alcohol. I drink very little coffee now. But I also have an adrenal condition from working so hard. So I have to really be conscientious about how I spend my days, and I can't work 190, 80-hour weeks anymore. So my time is limited.
100.
I know. It got real bad. But now I'm just, because of this political situation that we're in America, I don't even want to call it like a news cycle, because it's just the downfall of democracy potentially. And so now I'm like, when I go online, it's mostly to check, and then I can just spiral from there.
Right. That's a cortisol spike immediately. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to be really mindful of that. And I basically just, like, I'll download it and then delete the app. Like, or I have to post stuff for millions, so I'll post and then I delete the app, and I try not to get lost in like a Threads hole, you know?
Yeah, totally. It's really hard though, like, to exercise that amount of self-control when it's a dopamine thing, right? It's like telling any other kind of addict, like, okay, well, you can have a little bit and then turn it off.
Yeah, and I think with drugs as well as with gambling or your phone or whatever, it's solving another problem. And so I'm trying to get dopamine from other places now. I'm trying to really get enough sleep and enough balanced diet, wholesome foods, wholesome relationships, trying to repair my family. Having a boyfriend really helps. Just that the love and chemical balance coming in helps me to not be so reliant on the other stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It's so important for artists to protect that. It's so important. And again, I'm trying to give myself this message because it's something I've been battling while releasing this album. Like, it's a very online mode that you get into when you're promoting any kind of project.
Yeah.
And also being in the world, and so much of the world is virtual now. So maintaining that while also I'm trying to create some kind of boundaries so I have a life outside of literally when I wake up to when I go to sleep, you know?
Yeah.
And what you're just saying about relationships, and you're in a romantic relationship, like protecting your friendships, having these places where I'm rereading The Artist's Way, and Julia Cameron says that attention is, first of all, talk about currency from your other podcast episode. Like, an artist's currency is their attention and what they pay attention to, just like all human beings. But also it's a form of love, like noticing the person in front of you or the piece in front of you or the artistic problem that you're solving.
Yeah. This whole talk about maybe looking for things in the wrong places, it has me thinking about Candy and the movie that we made together and your beautiful song. So this song, Candy, what would you say that it's about?
It's definitely drawing from experiences that I had in my early and mid-20s in the club and party scene in New York. And I also was battling with basically like running into the party scene to escape a lot of demons, literal and metaphorical, that were following me. And so the song itself, which I think the film captures so beautifully, is both euphoric and it has this much darker undertone to it and like almost spiritual warfare aspect to it.
So hell on earth.
Yeah, hell on earth. Seeking heaven on earth by escaping, but you are, running away from hell on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We shot that in 2 days, was it?
Yeah. 2 overnights?
Yeah.
2 overnights,
2
I think.
overnights.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was insane. So much fun.
Yeah.
And also, like, maybe we could talk about the whole creative process for that, because that was wild. Like, I
didn't know you that well.
No, we did not know each other. This is how we got to know each other.
I just said I was going to direct any music video for free. And then you're like, great. And then we talked and listened to the album, and I was like, this is the song.
Yep.
And so we thought we were just making a music video. And I mean, it's definitely got that in it. But I was like, why don't you make a short film as well? And you're like, okay. And then so it kind of ballooned, as my projects tend to do, and became this huge, ambitious short film. Well, you tell the next part.
Well, I'm going to back up just a little bit, because like this was my introduction to you, was that you listened to that song and the concept that you pitched, it actually completely freaked me out, because it was so true to life. It was this, okay, we're in this New York underground club scene and there's a man following you around. And I was like, how did you know this? Because what Misha did not know was that in that period of time in my 20s, when I was running into the club scene, I was having, I'm not even sure how to label it, because I don't know if it was psychosis, sleep paralysis, spiritual warfare, a mental health episode, whatever it was, I was seeing a man following me around in various rooms. So I would kind of run away from that into these public, crowded party places.
And that was what I saw. When I listened to the song, I had absolutely no context from you, but that was exactly the vision that the song painted for me. When this man kept showing up and his face would morph whoever he was at that party or in the street or whatever. And it was really tormenting you. And come to find out, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, so she was like, I have this idea of a concept. And I was like, did you just open my brain and read my memories? His name was Ted, by the way. That's what I called him, to try to make him less scary.
How did you end up slaying Ted?
Oh, man, that's such a good question. Has that happened to you as well? Like this sleep paralysis type demon?
Well, I see night terrors a lot, which is eyes open, very disturbing images and creatures in my room.
But you're awake?
Yes.
Yeah, but when you get up, are they still there?
No.
Or it's like an out of the dream kind of thing?
Coming out of sleep, yeah. Yeah. So they behave, they go away when I tell them to.
Okay, that's good. You have a handle on them.
Not like Ted.
Yeah, Ted had a mind of his own. What helped with Ted ultimately? The last Ted episode I had, I was 27, and what did not help was I went to a psychiatrist who then was like, let's summon Ted into the room right now and have a conversation, the three of us.
No.
And I was like, no. Why would I ever intentionally summon Ted?
That's like the beginning of a horror movie.
That's a good idea. Maybe we should write that movie.
Yeah, we'll do that.
How did I get rid of Ted? I went into therapy. I think that's the short story. Started to deal with like some of what might have been inspiring that to happen.
Cool. Yeah. So when we finish the film, which will be soon,
watch out,
we'll release the film, but then the music video is going to have a separate life. When that music video is ready, like how does that dovetail with the album release? Like releasing the video content and the music content. Talk about that.
Yeah, totally. I am of the mindset, or I guess I'm inspired by artists who continue to find new life in their work. Tyler, the Creator, said he promotes an album for...
I saw him on the street the other day.
You did?
Yeah, I said, you're amazing. And he goes, thank you.
Oh my God. That's so cool.
Sorry to interrupt.
No. Thank you for telling me that. Wow. I'm like imagining him here in the room with us now.
He's so cool.
He's so cool.
Yeah.
I saw a video of him saying that he promotes an album for a year after it's out. And I think that in this media landscape, such a funny term that I just used. In this media landscape, songs can blow up at any point, basically. Mm-hmm. So there's less pressure on like the day that something comes out than there used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be that like you could get on a Spotify editorial playlist and that's your shot. And the release week is everything. Now it's just, okay, I've put something out into the world. Now my job is, how do I find the people who are going to love this thing? And the video is a big part of that, like creating the visual world for that. And I think that as far as I see it, I'll just keep putting out Heaven on Earth related stuff until people find it, you know? Until the people who need it find it. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You have a show in January, correct?
Yeah, Joe's Pub. Yeah, I'm double billing with Ellen Winter. Do you know Ellen?
I've heard the name.
Yeah, they're so cool. Also an Ars Nova person, singer-songwriter, actor, like so talented. Ellen did a show in Brooklyn this past summer, just stripped back piano and vocals. And this is like Sarah Bareilles level talent.
Wow.
Like that was a master class in voice and piano. So I'm very excited. I'm honored that I'm a part of the lineup, honestly.
What date?
It's January 18th at 8:30 p.m. at Joe's Pub. I'll see you guys 18th. There.
That's so cool. And so in addition to everything you're doing with the album, are there other projects on the horizon for you? What are you thinking?
Oh, yeah. So I can't share everything yet, so stay tuned. And maybe by the time this comes out, I'll be able to share more with you guys. And so I'm looking ahead at that. And then I've started writing album number 2.
Good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. In this whole promotion phase, I was like, I'm going to go crazy if I don't start making new things now.
Yeah.
Like, there's such a cycle for all of these. Do you find this too with films? If you're in one phase with too many projects, like you are just in editing for too many projects or just in promotion.
That's me right now.
You have to like, balance it out somehow.
Yes.
That's what I was feeling so heavy because I was so much in, okay, the thing is created and done. Now we're just moving it to try to find an audience. And so started album number 2, and I'm also thinking a lot more, this is like, I haven't even done it yet, but I'm thinking more about writing, like Substack and putting out more prose and essays and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because you were an English major.
Yeah, good recall.
Yeah, well, you were always like, just really good with that stuff. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I just put it in the movie.
No, you're very like verbally talented as an orator. And I think I'm verbally talented as a writer. Actually, I was reflecting on like my artistry because being on this podcast is such a cool opportunity to think about it. And I really conceive of myself as a writer first and foremost with everything, like with music, with theater. I can perform and I can do all these things, but that's where I started. It's always starting on the page.
That's cool. I used to think of myself like that, and now I just like the sound of my own voice too much.
You are an orator.
I might have graduated to a performer, yeah.
That's so cool.
I don't know. Is it? No, just kidding.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, I want to make sure that people know where to find you. So can you give us all of the publicly available channels for Kate Eberstadt?
Yes. I'm available on Instagram, Kate Eberstadt. Everything's under my name, which was also a choice, and we can also talk about that too. Yeah, Kate Eberstadt on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Deezer, SoundCloud.
And if you had one preferred social media platform, where would you want people to find you?
Probably Instagram. That's where I post the most about events and stuff.
Yeah, same. Elder Millennial.
Yeah. Are you on TikTok as well?
I am. My interns run it for me, though.
Okay. Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll have a post blow up. I'm like, whoa, I did nothing to deserve that.
Yeah. Virality on TikTok is so different. All of a sudden, your notifications just blow up, and you can't really keep up with all of it, at least in my experience.
Yeah, that's where you get the most access to strangers, I feel.
Yes. The most insane comments. The
so
most wild comments of your life. But also, TikTok has a really good sense of humor, but those people can be savage.
Oh my God, they're so mean.
So mean.
Yes. So real quick for people who are thinking of changing their names.
Oh, yeah.
So what was that? Why did you stick with your actual name?
Oh, man. Again, it's a spiritual choice in a way for me. But I grew up in lots of different environments, and also being a woman. And I just got into the habit of shape-shifting and chameleoning a lot, and fitting the situation that I was in, and finding my own authentic voice is both easy when I'm making something, but very hard when I'm in front of other people. So I flirted for a very long time with like an alter ego or a persona, and also letting go of my history, feeling like some kind of sense of freedom maybe from that. But when I decided to come out with this album and this solo show, even though it was the scarier thing to do, I decided to go by my name. And I had gotten advice on that. I feel like we talked about this as well. Yeah. And almost like that's an act of imperfectly finding myself by committing to do that, rather than creating some alter ego where that was putting on an act of some kind. Yeah. And so I also had gotten basically advice from everyone that I know who was like, just go by your name. Like you have SEO built up. It's like not starting from scratch. It's the easiest thing to do. Yeah. But my name is hard to spell too.
I still don't know how to spell with confidence.
The DT is complicated, the Germanic aspect. But Yvette Noel-Schur, who is Beyonce's publicist.
Also hard to spell.
Yeah, Beyonce. Well, that was her point. Yeah, like I did a very brief guest teaching spot in one of her classes at Berklee School of Music. And we talked about the name thing with the students in the business school because they asked why I chose to put it out under my name. And I did mention it's hard to spell. And she said, well, Beyonce was hard to spell at first. Yeah. She's like, they'll learn how to spell your name.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I just love you so much.
I love you, too. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And everyone, play my friend Kate's album. Look her up. Give her a follow. The stuff you've been posting also lately is just very fire, like the little videos and stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
High quality.
Thank you. Yeah, we're experimenting with all kinds of things, so come check it out. And Candy soon. Yeah.
Candy and Heaven on Earth. Go download it right now, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kate.
Thank you.
Bye. See you next week.
See ya.
The Vermilion Podcast is sponsored by Vermilion, a home for artists. We offer classes, coaching, and community for creatives and innovators in the arts. If you're ready to find your voice and build the life of your dreams, we're here to support you every step of the way. Check out clubvermilion.com and schedule a free call today.